Yo, what's going on, Kicks Army? Today I'll be doing a sneaker drawing on the Air Max 270 Warriors colorway set to release later on this fall, as well as talking about Manu Ginobili retiring, Enes Kanter's thoughts on LeBron James and the NBA in general, and Jason Tatum's thoughts on Kobe. Let's get it! Starters, if you like these daily sneaker drawing videos and basketball talk videos, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and bounce past the bell to get post notifications. And more importantly, if you're the kind of person that likes sneakers, and if you're the kind of person that likes stencils, I got just the fix for you. There's this website I heard of, it's called kicksart.com. Literally over 160 different free sneaker stencils are on the site, and you can add new stencils to be requested through the contact tab. And literally everything on there is free. Just go ahead, grab whatever you want, and make sure if you need something new added, you let me know. As for the sneaker itself, this is the Air Max 270 Warriors colorway that's set to release later on this fall for $150 retail. Even though I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of the Warriors, their colors, the blue and the yellow, work so well, especially in a lot of different pairs of sneakers. Especially on this particular pair, how you accent it with the black and then you have that white outsole, it just looks so sick. And if I may be biased for just a quick minute, I do personally like how this particular drawing came out, except that text or whatever that's on the upper and the black panel, I don't know why, but I guess because of the way that my markers are at, where they're kind of getting a little bit dull, they bleed a lot easier. Because of that, some of the gray on that upper part kind of bled into the text spot, so naturally it kind of shows up even if I go over that spot with yellow. That's really the only critique that I have for this. I personally feel like the blending on the upper blue worked out so well. And then at the very end, when I go through and add those black details, it just makes the whole shoe look so complete. So if you ask me, the whole performance is like an 8 out of 10, but I did stick the landing and that's what counts. As for the specific release date for this sneaker, I'm not sure when that is. I don't believe Sneaker News or any of the other major sneaker sites know either, although I'm sure we'll find out the release date soon enough. Now for the first basketball story of the day, we got some pretty big news. Manu Ginobili of the San Antonio Spurs is finally retiring. And I gotta say, with him retiring, and since Tony Parker already left, Duncan's been retired, it really feels like that era of the Spurs is truly over. That's not to say that they won't have success, that's not saying that they won't continue to make the playoffs, but in terms of their core foundation for that run, it was definitely those three players. And oddly enough, Kawhi was supposed to be the player that can usher them into this new era that could continue that success that they've had. But he's kind of not on the team either, so it really does feel like they're going to have to try something completely new. Have some interesting young pieces, they have solid role players, they have DeMar DeRozan, and they have Greg Popovich. Honestly, with that, you can really do anything. As long as Greg Popovich is coaching the team, they got a shot every year. That's honestly how I feel. That man is going to squeeze the absolute best performance out of all of his players, unless it's Kawhi Leonard, in which case I don't know. But in case you guys aren't too familiar with Manu Ginobili's achievements, let me give it to you real quick. He made the All-NBA team twice, he's a 4-time NBA champion, 2-time NBA All-Star, a 6th Man of the Year, and Olympic gold medalist. And on top of it all, he is really one of the players that pioneered the Euro step and really brought it into the league. A number of people have recognized him as the greatest 6th man to ever play the game. And as bittersweet as it is to see him retire, I'd much rather him retire on his own terms as opposed to retiring because of an injury or something else like that. One clap one time for Manu Ginobili real quick. Next on the news, we got some interesting quotes from Enes Kanter. First thing he said was, quote, "East is like AAU teams and the West is like the league." Shots fired by Enes Kanter, but it's not really shots considering he plays on the Knicks, which is in the East. So what he's basically saying is, collectively speaking for the East, hey man, we suck. Again, I can understand why he would say that because the West kind of has the Warriors and the Rockets. They now have the Lakers with LeBron James. That's going to be a good team. I think he's also low-key sleeping on some of the teams in the East. The Celtics are no jokes. I trust the process. I think Philly is no joke. My Magic just got Mo Bamba, all right? So I think we're not a joke. We're not good, but we're not a joke. The Raptors got Kawhi. I mean, I don't know how well they do, but they got Kawhi. He's arguably the 3rd best player in the world, so that speaks for something. Washington might be interesting. They got Dwight Howard. That counts for something. They still have John Wall, Bradley Beal. You already know. Milwaukee's got Giannis. If he ever really grows into his body and just dominates the league, it's over for everybody else. Pacers went 7 games with the Cavs last season, all right? Victor Oladipo has really stepped up. Like even Cleveland, they got Kevin Love and Colin Sexton and J.R. Smith. Okay, maybe not Cleveland. Hey, Enes Kanter, understand something. You guys have actually a very good chance of acquiring some pretty interesting free agents next season. So while you guys might be trash this season, don't worry. Good things are coming your way, hopefully. At the very least, we know Porzingis is going to come back. Hopefully he stays healthy and he's going to be dominant. And I'm pretty sure I told you guys my theory on this before, but I'm telling you guys, it's gonna be maybe 5 to 10 years, but in 5 to 10 years, it's gonna get to the point where, because we're getting so many good players entering the league, even if your team is bad, you're gonna have a good 2 or 3 players that could just flat out ball. Like, of course, there will still be teams who get blown out, but they will still have guys on those teams that are getting blown out, scoring 30, 35 points a game. Because I believe the league is just going to get so good to the point where you can't deny these players that can't be stopped. And there's going to be players who can't be stopped in every team. It used to be where you had the draft class and there was really only one interesting pick coming out of the draft. Like, if you didn't get the #1 overall pick, then you just picked some person who could have been interesting on your team. Now it's like the first 10 picks in every draft are good players that are going to help their teams advance in the league. That's 10 different players going on 10 different teams. That's a third of the league. That means there's gonna come a day where my Magic won't suck anymore, and I hope I live to see it. But for real, the West absolutely runs the league, but I have a feeling it's gonna change. I don't know when. It could be this year, it could be next year, but it's gonna change. Just trust me on that. Enes Kanter also had a quote about trolling LeBron James. He said, quote, "I would do anything to take his focus away and distract him. People ask me, does it work? To which he said, no, it does not work, but I'm trying." First of all, shout outs to you, Enes Kanter. That's what's up. That's competitive nature at its finest. Mental battle that goes on between these players are absolutely a key factor in the game, and I think he knows this. That doesn't mean that his efforts are effective. I think he knows that they're not effective, but the fact that he's trying to at least distract the best player in the world in some way, shape, or form, even on a bad team, is a good sign. I want my players on bad teams to still be competitive. I don't want them just to roll over and lose every single night. Enes Kanter is the kind of role player that you would want on your team, not because he's a good player, but because he always tries. And lastly, we had Jason Tatum on the Bill Simmons podcast give a pretty interesting quote about Kobe Bryant. He said, quote, "My mom would ask what I wanted to be when I got older, and I would be like, I just want to be Kobe. She'd be like, you want to be in the NBA? To which he said, no, like, I want to be Kobe." And you know what? Just hearing stuff like this gets me really excited. But because a lot of young players will say that they look up to their NBA idols and they want to be like those players, but few players actually have the potential to do something of that nature. Jason Tatum had an awesome rookie season. Like, he looked phenomenal, especially in the playoffs. He dunked on Bron. Like, come on, man. Kobe Bryant's working out with them. Kobe Bryant is a Laker for life, and he's working out with the youngest player in the Celtics. Like, that just shows how much Kobe believes in this man's style of play. When he says he wants to be like Kobe, I don't think he wants exactly what Kobe has in terms of 5 rings, 34,000 points and all that. I think he wants that Mamba mentality. He wants that undeniable drive. He wants that level of greatness that you cannot deny because of his work ethic. If that equates to 5 championships or more or less, if that equates to 30,000 points more or less, that doesn't matter. The point is, he wants that mentality ingrained in his brain. He wants that drive. He wants that work. He wants to get it each and every single day, including during the offseason. He wants to do the things that nobody else wants to do to ensure greatness at all times. He wants everybody to know that even though you may win now, you will not outwork me, and I will get mine soon enough. Or maybe he literally wants to be like Kobe and he wants to wear the number 24. I don't know. We're going to find out, I guess. But that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and bounce past the bell to get post notifications. Don't forget to check out Kickstarter.com for all your sneaker stencil needs. Make sure you check out the over 260 plus videos on the channel. Every video is awesome. I'm also biased, so it is what it is. And you already know that I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yay!